I assume you're passionate about non-GMO.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just the basic right to know issue for this bill that they're trying to pass. We know about everything else that's required, right? I mean, you want to know how much sugar's in your food, how much carbohydrate, how much fat, what kind of additives.
Salt.
So you can modify your food genetically and you can hide that? I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
What was your name, by the way?
Steve Smith.
Steve Smith, thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
Were you participating in yesterday's march?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
How'd you feel about the turnout and the messaging?
It was a good turnout, yeah, I was surprised. Yeah, and I actually really didn't know that was still an issue. It's ongoing. You know, I thought they addressed this a long time ago, and I see that they're still actively fighting against this GMO of our foods, so yeah.
So I'm not sure if you guys figured out if Representative Kathy Castor has been receiving any funds from Monsanto or the Grocery Manufacturers Association.
The two guys that introduced the 1599, HR 1599, received a lot of money from those kind of groups. So that's why they're introducing it. That's why they want to push it through. Their paybacks to who got them in office.
So it's not really we the people. It's not really we the people. It's like we the corporations who pay for your campaigns and have you do our bidding.
Yeah, unfortunately, you know, the guys with the most money usually win, and that goes for presidents and the governors and everyone else. So, you know, if you got the most money, maybe you can push these bills through. I don't know. We'll see, right?
So how do you feel about local rules as far as local labeling rules, maybe the state of Florida or Hillsborough County?
I mean, they need to be in place, you know. You just can't. They call this the Dark Act because they're trying to hide so many things. And when you go to look it up, they've got some fluffy label on there. I can't even remember the name of it. It has nothing to do with what this bill is trying to do. You know,
right.
It's hiding a lot of things. Actually, you know, if you look at it, I mean, it's anti-consumer, anti-constitutional, anti-democracy, anti-states' rights, anti-right to know. Just look up the bill. Look at the specifics of it. They're counting on people not taking the time to go and do that. And a lot of people won't. They're too busy with their lives. You know, you've got to feed your family. You've got to go to work and make a living. You know, you're busy with life. But these are important issues. I mean, these affect your life.
So they basically flood the zone with all these different bills and thousands of pages of legislation, and it's just a fact that no single human being is ever going to be able to read through it all.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's overwhelming, and they try to push a lot of this through and they figure that people won't notice it. But I think they need to wake up. I mean, with social media and the power of social media, now you just can't do that anymore.
Yeah, social media is the way to go. I can't get a second on broadcast media for anything we're trying to do. Let's get the roundup prop in here, huh?
Oh yeah.
All right, folks. So here's the evil stuff roundup. Now it's just a container. You know, it doesn't say it's going to kill you if you eat it, but they'll tell you it's perfectly safe. And what you may or may not know is you already have this lovely product within your body right now. In fact, it's killed half the bacteria in your digestive tract, which has probably caused you all sorts of troubles from lack of nutrition, as well as if you are a cancer survivor, you may have very well have gotten cancer because half the good bugs in your gut don't exist anymore because this stuff is in your corn syrup. Has anybody got Coca-Cola prop? Pepsi? All right, Coke and Pepsi. You got your Roundup in there. Let's name some other stuff. Cereal, anything with corn syrups, got your Roundup in there. And we got Miss Kathy Castor, our U.S. representative for the House District of, what district are we, like 14. House District 14, Tampa, Florida, Ruskin, St. Petersburg, allowing your kids to eat this stuff without even knowing it. And this is just one of the problems. The other problem is the reason they spray so much of this stuff on is because they genetically modified those organisms. Corn, what is the list? Soy, get some others on there. And the list is pretty long. We're not even talking about breathing organisms. It's just plants. And the reason they do that is so they can spray 8 times more pesticide on it and not kill the plant. So there's going to be 0 weeds in that field, but you're going to have 8 times more pesticide. And these people in Washington right now, including Miss Kathy Castor, we'll see which way she goes on the issue, is going to be trying to hide this from you. This is called Roundup. This is made by Monsanto. These people are great at making chemicals. In fact, they made Agent Orange and defoliated half of Southeast Asia and probably killed 10,000 of our servicemen and women who were spraying this stuff all over the place, being lied to, told that this stuff won't kill them. And unfortunately, it has. So you can thank chemical companies for poisoning your food, and who knows who else in your family. Who else has a comment they'd like to make? I'm doing a good job.
Are you putting that on TV?
It's on
Kellogg's, you know, all your major processed food manufacturers are part of GMA.
So say I'm just a layperson, don't know anything about food. I eat corn. Is this bad?
Well, corn is the #1 genetically modified food. So yes, it is bad.
What if I just moved here from, say, like Italy or Greece, or you guys have some Greece history? If I'm eating corn in Greece, am I going to get poisoned?
No, actually, I believe Greece. Actually, I believe they have outlawed GMOs.
Outlawed GMOs?
Yes, they're banned in Greece. I believe. I may be wrong. Several countries have already banned them. Several countries require labeling. So if you eat it here, you're going to be exposed to a product that has been genetically engineered to produce its own pesticide. So when you eat products that have corn in it, you're going to be eating a pesticide. When the bugs eat that pesticide, when they land on the corn, they eat that corn, they get holes in their stomach and they end up dying. Well, that is very interesting to correlate that to a lot of the health issues that people are having now. We have huge issues with especially young children having allergies, immune problems, you know, ADHD, all these things that our children never had before, they're suffering from now. And, you know, we can directly relate that to the food we're eating. There's no question that the food that we're eating that's been filled with chemicals, pesticides, genetically engineered, is contributing to disease.
If you were going to run for Congress, would you vote for this bill?
No, not for 1599. I would vote for HR 913, which is the Genetically Engineered Right to Know Act.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, that one was introduced by Senator Boxer and DeFazio, and they're from California. So basically that bill is a companion, you know, in opposition to the HR 1599, giving people the right to know. We as consumers have the right to know what's in our food, period. There's no question. We demand, I mean, 90% of the people that have been polled in the past and now want genetically engineered food labeled. So we can make a choice whether we want to expose ourselves to them.
Is that bill also going up for vote around the same time as the DARK Act, as they call it?
No, the DARK Act, I believe, is in committee. It has been read and sent to committee. It's in the Biotechnology Committee, which is a very interesting fact in itself. There was never a biotechnology committee. I guess that we need to research that a little bit and find out when that was introduced. But it is in the biotech committee, and I believe the HR 913 has been sent to committee, but I don't think it's been read or anything like that. It's just sitting there.
Okay. Now, I've heard of something called a Trans-Pacific Partnership Treaty that Barack Hussein Obama is pushing forward in secrecy. This is something that even our own Congress people aren't apparently privy to the details of, but I understand it has something to do with streamlining all these secretive labeling or non-labeling details across the globe. Do you know anything about this Trans-Pacific Partnership Treaty? Well, we did make it through Kathy Castor's front office door. They're not in right now. It is 6 o'clock, and I'm sorry, it's like 5 o'clock, and this event that was planned, not by us, started around 4 o'clock. So apparently she never was here, but the office was. So let's let them know we cared enough to come to the front door. The rest of the story is one that's already been told, and we need to pay attention to our elected officials. We need to watch what they're doing, let them know we're watching what they're doing, let them hear from you, send them letters, physical mail typically always gets opened first, call their office, it definitely will get logged, and of course, you know, you blast them with emails. So let's keep our country free and our liberties in place. We're not giving away any of our rights no matter what, and these privileges they speak of are supposed to be given to us from government. I think safe food is a little closer to a right than a privilege. Let's not let these people in Washington tell us what to eat or hide from us what we're eating. So stay well, stay healthy, keep on smiling. No one wants to talk to you if you're not smiling. You guys have a good day. We got a gentleman who wants to tell a story. Come on over.
Okay.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for all the hard work. Nice talking to you all. What's your name, sir?
Gary Bartlett.
Gary Bartlett. Nice to meet you.
A pleasure, my friend. Okay, so I've been eating organic foods for about a year and a half. Say a year and a half. Too late. Recently, on the 16th, on the 16th of this month, I found myself in the emergency room, and the diagnosis, peritonitis. Peritonitis is where basically your intestines, they're holes eaten. They eat, okay, glyphosate. Let's just say glyphosate.
This is exactly what we were just talking about.
Okay, let's say BT toxins, which we know what they do to insects.
That's like an in-genetic molecule thing, right? It's like a separate virus within the DNA of plants now, right?
Yes, and we're eating this.
And where did they come? That came from like a bug or a sea creature or something, didn't it? Do you remember?
I can't say, but my first-hand experience. So I go in, they give me an MRI. They go, you will die if we don't operate now. I was in surgery within 30 minutes of the time they MRI'd me. They cut my sigmoid colon out. They cut my rectal artery out. I have a colonoscopy sac now for an undetermined amount of time due to what I ate. So if we don't think food affects our health and well-being, it does. And all we want from our government, from our leaders, is labeling. One little thing.
Labeling. Kind of like
a
pack of cigarettes, a black box warning, basically, right? Something that's been in our society for 30-plus years on cigarette packs. We're now, because our food is Frankenstein, we need to have it on our own food, seems like.
Yeah, well, Monto is so proud of their product, so excited to share it with us, with the entire human race.
The Monsanto people?
Yes. And why don't they label it? Why then, if it's such a great product? That's a $1 million question. Why?
Yes, last I checked, there's still starving people in Africa. Wasn't this all supposed to help starving people in Africa? Well, we're just not doing it right. We're just not buying enough of their product and spraying enough of their chemicals to save all these starving people in Africa.
It's a brotherhood of corruption.
Brotherhood of corruption.
And not every politician is involved in this corruption, but a lot of them are, and they know who they are.
So, as we go about finishing off this video, I'll chase down the list of villains, people who have been receiving tons of money from Monsanto, Grocers Manufacturers Association. I hate to even say it, but Coca-Cola and Pepsi, Kellogg's, Kraft. The list has got to be every single brand name you know. And they're just willingly jumping in both feet to buy corn that's probably 5% cheaper per bushel because it's GMO corn versus buying organic corn, or at least the old style corn that had no genetic modification. It didn't have 8 times of this crap sprayed all over it. That is basically this chemical company's whole deal. Design the genetic genome for corn, make it so it won't die when you spray this stuff on it, unlike every other form of plant life, and be able to sell 8 times as much chemical plus the corn, and for 5 cents cheaper. Yay.
And then, in your entire country, we're the 6th country in the world.
Yeah, that's a good point, too. Here we are a decade later, another decade later. I don't see the life expectancy increasing here in the United States of America.
Intestinal problems alone are over, for this same diverticulitis, these diseases that come from this problem, over 3 million cases a year. That's 1% of our entire population. That's terrifying.
What is that, a day?
Oh my
So like 10,000 people a day, something like that? 3 million a year?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Well, Mr. Bartlett, I've got residual Roundup on me, so let me just do an elbow bump with you, sir.
Okay, get it off quick.
Anyways, from Tampa, doing our best to get the word out. Whether it's jaded or not jaded, we're doing our part. You should do your own part too. Spread the message, spread this video, pass it to your friends, and help educate your friends and family. Till next time.